Man, welcome back to the Cruise Dynasty podcast. Took a couple days off, but we back at it. I'm Matt Hammond. Add me on Twitter. Add the podcast. Craft man, what's up?
Yeah, nothing much, man. It's been a minute. We've been feeling like crap last week or so. So it's good to be back.
Sounds like you soft.
I am soft. I'm super soft.
Man, we got Ian Braddock, Slim Eazy in the building. What's going on, man?
What's Hamm, Matt? What's up, cousin? How y'all feeling, man?
Man, just chilling, man. Just talking some football, the fake stuff.
The fake. We love the fake stuff, man. I can't wait to talk about it, dude. I've been itching to figure some stuff out. Hopefully you got some good insight. Maybe I can throw you a few bones.
Shoot, man. We'll just see how it goes, man. We gonna break down what, week 3? Breaking it down game by game. Tell you who you should start, who you should be looking for, because there's always other players. But before we do that, we'll hop into some news. You thought I forgot, didn't you, Craft?
I knew you were going to forget. I was looking at the week 3 schedule already. I was like, here we go. We got to go ahead and hop on this. He's going to forget about the damn news again.
Man, so Trey Lance breaks his ankle, out for the year. Good thing they got Jimmy G.
That sucks. But don't suck for the 49ers right now, but God, it sucks for Trey Lance. There might be a chance that he never sees the field for the 49ers again, depending on how far Jimmy leads them again this year.
I'm with you. 49ers, they look pretty good. What you think, Kim?
I think they look great too, man. And I kind of agree with Austin, dude. I mean, that's going to be trouble for Trey, you know. I mean, there's no telling. Is he going to be the same guy? And if Jimmy G goes off, then they got a really tough offseason of what do I do? So, yeah.
Do it all over again, man.
But and they got all season to worry about it, so I wouldn't worry about it now. Just focus on Garoppolo and throwing that shit to Debo and Kip.
Yeah.
James Conner, they're saying he's day to day. What you think about that one, Kraft?
Well, he was limited participant Wednesday, which is today. Usually if you start off the week this early, even getting any kind of practice reps in, that's a good sign. So I'll expect him to be out there, but just, keep eye on the news. If he misses practice, say Friday, if he's like a did not practice Friday, then you need to start worrying, but it's a good look so far that he'll be out there this week.
That's bad news for anybody who picked up Eno Benjamin on the waiver wire. That's one backfield I really don't want any shares of. Right?
Yeah.
Yep, I'm with you. I do got Eno Benjamin in the league. Just trying to ship him on out, see what I can get. But
I think it's Darrell Williams anyway.
Yep, Darrell Williams. Yep, looks like he's gonna be the guy. Eno's gonna get the third down work. Michael Pittman came back to practice. That's definitely good.
Yep. Same thing said about Connor. If you practice on Wednesday, it's a good sign. So keep an eye out, but headed in the right direction.
Oh, and as you speak, I just got an update about George Kittle. Says here he's practicing today as well. So
yeah,
very nice.
George Kittle's about to do some work with Jimmy G being back. I definitely like Kittle being back. What you think about that one? You disagree?
No, I just think it's funny how he just miraculously got healthy once Jimmy G got back on the field. He's like, oh, my boy's back. Oh, handsome man. I feel better now. My groin is healed up, seeing all that handsomeness.
That's right. I'm excited to see him blow up since I just traded for him.
Yeah.
Go.
Yep. So you trade for him in a redraft league, or?
I did. I got him in my redraft. I traded away old James Robinson, but I got a couple flyers, and I think it'll be solid, dude. I really needed a tight end. I was rocking Alberto, and he's Albert Go now.
Dang,
It's
man.
Albert. Free
Ian, are you
agent.
talking about the Average Joe League, man?
Yeah.
That's the league you did that in.
Matt's about to
Yes.
pick Alberto up right now.
I'm about to go see what's up, man. Cause yeah, I did see you play Alberto the other day, so I'm going
Yeah,
against Scoote.
man. Get him, bro.
So what else we got out there, Kraft?
Jared Judy missed practice today, so it's like I said, it's Wednesday. Make sure you keep up with him Thursday, Friday, see if he'll come back. Um, and there was one more. Alvin Kamara returns to practice today too. He missed last week. Maybe
Yeah.
he'll be back. And that's one guy that I would like to trade for right now.
Yeah.
So that's all I can say about Kamara, though.
Well, shoot, Kraft. What else we got?
And that's about all I see right now. As far as practice reports go, you done mentioned Pittman and everything. DeAndre Swift wasn't practicing today. He's been dealing with an ankle thing. He didn't get many carries last week, but he had a lot of fantasy points. So
Yeah, still had a good
I really
week.
hope he still comes in there, plays, because I need him.
Yep, I'm with you. I need him too. I need you, Swift.
Well,
For this week, you got anybody receiver wise that you're? I had mentioned Garrett Wilson, but he's probably owned in I would say at least 70% of leagues. But if he's out there, snag him up as quick as you can.
Yeah, definitely wasn't in the league that I was looking for, man. But really, all the guys that people are saying to pick up that I'll be seeing, people saying they're not in the waivers in the leagues I'm in. We're talking. I took a look at what I was looking at today, and I didn't like anything I saw. I just stayed pat. This is the second week in a row. I haven't really picked up anybody.
Yeah, there was a couple good ones last week. As far as like the Curtis Samuel, he performed again. Jahan Dotson, he performed again. Another one I'd like to mention, Jacoby Myers. He's a boring one. But he could do a lot better than a lot of the guys you've been starting every week. I mean, last week had 9 receptions for 95 yards.
Yeah.
If you're in a full PPR league, he's gonna easily get you over 10 points a week, I feel like.
Yeah, Jacoby Myers definitely a safe, pretty good player in PPR leagues. Doesn't really score, but stuck
Yeah.
up there in New England, he might would be better somewhere else.
I kind of like if I could jump in on that, I kind of like he's kind of going off the charts quick, and I'm a very big person on don't play the hype, don't play the 1 week spike, but I don't think what's his name, Noah Brown for
Dallas. He was stuttering like crazy. Noah Brown, yeah, for Dallas. He had a good week last week. So, but Michael Gallup should be a week or two away. I think they didn't put him on the pup to begin the year, so he'll be back. So,
Yeah.
I would say Noah Brown for like a 1 week rental if you're desperate.
Yeah, I had a pretty good week last week. Anybody else we looking for on these waiver streets?
Running backs are very, very hard to come by in most leagues right now, and there wasn't a lot of injuries last week, so the only running back that I could say maybe go out there and get is Raheem Mostert. He actually got more snaps than Chase Edmonds last week, and he followed Mike McDaniel over from San Fran, so it might be his guy. So I don't know if I'd start him, but he would be somebody to just keep on your bench. You could probably it'd be worth having, I think, anyway.
Yeah. Well, shoot, man, you ready to just hop on these games, week 3 style?
Bust out these games.
Bust them out.
Just like Michael Parsons busted out Joe Burrow's teeth last week.
Or like
Man.
Darwin James busted Travis Kelce's ass on the goal line.
Yeah, I seen
We heard
something
you
about that
that time.
today. Yeah,
Do what?
I seen something about that today. Talking about somebody was asking Travis Kelce about that.
He got hammered, man. That was I didn't see that coming at all. I was like, oh, touchdown. No.
So the first game we got Thursday night, Pittsburgh
Division
and
round.
Cleveland.
Ooh.
Yeah, you know, it is what it is. Obvious
I like
starts.
those AFC. I like that was the AFC North. That's always they got some brutal games, man. That's kind of cutthroat football between them boys.
Yep, obviously starting Najee Harris, Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, obviously starting him still.
Head in.
I want to say yeah, man, because he's got such high upside, and I think you're pretty safe against the Steelers right now. I mean, their defense is starting to show some life, but I really think their passing defense is a lot better than their run defense. So if I had them, unless you got, 3 for sure RB1s, you got to start Hunt.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'd be starting Hunt for sure, especially like he said, the rush defense of the Steelers is pretty rough. And as far as the receivers go on the Browns, there's nobody. I'm still not going with Amari Cooper. That's just me.
Yeah.
Would y'all be starting Amari Cooper or Peoples Jones
man,
at this point?
I'm for sure with you. Like Amari Cooper had a good week last week, but let me see it again. I know he had. I mean, he went off last week, but I ain't gonna be sitting here. I don't want to put him in my lineup. I'd sit him right on the bench.
I agree, man. I just and it's really for me, it's his attitude, man. Like, I don't think he's a real good team player. Like the other day, he when they did that the dadgummit onside kick, when they did the onside kick, he was right there. He should have fell on the ball. He tried to pick it up and run. Why don't you dive on it? There's stuff like that, dude, where I'm just like, I don't know, man.
You're just Amari Cooper hater. You hate
That's
him.
what it sounds like. Sounds like you hating.
Yeah. I'm hating, dude. I hate the strong word, but I dislike Amari Cooper, and I have for a few years now.
Peoples Jones, you playing him?
Hell no.
What about this Pittsburgh wide receiver core? Got Deontay Johnson, Claypool, Pickens. Are you're starting Deontay Johnson, but what about these other two?
You can stop at Deontay Johnson for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it.
And Frymuth, for sure, you're starting him.
Yep. You know how we feel about the tight ends. If you're in a spot, throw Njoku in. You never know, but it is what it is.
I dropped Bobby Tunyon, baby, and picked up Njoku. On to the next one.
On to the next. Yeah.
If somebody scores, like I said, if you get over 4 points for me at tight end, you are my boo for the year.
All right.
That's
right. Let's move on, man. New Orleans, Carolina. Winston, Baker, I guess you're playing them in your Superflex leagues. Not much to say right there. You might not be playing them in your Superflex leagues. I'm just being honest. But Kamara, if he's back this week, obviously you're playing him.
Mm-hmm. Yep, Kamara's always in your lineup when he's out there.
MT?
Did you start Baker, though?
Man.
In Superflex, I have him, but luckily he was my third quarterback. But
yeah, that's tough right now, man. I'm just being honest. I feel the same about Jameis, though, man. Got a broken back, man.
I start Jameis over Baker.
Yeah, but too, with a broke back.
Are you playing Michael Thomas 2 good weeks in a row?
Always. Lock in.
Lock him in. Craft, what do you say?
You're playing Michael Thomas till he poo-poos on himself. And I just see it, but I don't want to hope that he does bad just because I said he was going to do bad. So keep on doing what you're doing, Michael Thomas. But, yeah, you're starting him. You're definitely starting him.
and just being a football fan, man, it's good to see him back. It's good to see him playing. He loves the sport, you know, and he gets out there and he balls out. I mean, did you see that little twinkle toe catch he did where his whole body went limp the other week? I mean, the other
Oh,
day.
it was beautiful. It
Yeah.
was beautiful.
Olave, putting him in the lineup yet?
Ugh.
What you got, Ian? What you thinking? About a
Got
lot.
him. I got him in my dynasty team. I mean, and I think right now I'm sitting and waiting on him because, like, I mean, it just I don't know if Jameis can support two receivers right now, and I think it just depends on the matchup, really. If it's going to be a shootout, you know, if they're playing Atlanta or something, that's one thing. You know, they're going to be throwing the ball all over the field, but
Yeah.
I don't think he's weak.
Yeah. He should be rostered for sure, redraft and especially dynasty.
Oh,
He
yeah.
had like 15 targets last week or something crazy. I don't know if it was 15, it was like 11, but he had 5 receptions for 80 yards last week.
Yeah.
That's pretty good, pretty stout. But I will be starting like them free agents we talked about, Garrett Wilson, Jahan Dotson, and I would be starting them over him as of right now.
Carolina, CMC, you're obviously throwing him in. DJ Moore, look, I say you're obviously starting him, but he's definitely been. This has been
I
probably
don't think
my
you're
biggest.
obviously starting him. I'm benching him.
I
I'm
think
benching him.
This has been my biggest swing and miss on DJ Moore. I think it's kind of been going under the radar, but I'm definitely been wrong about him through 2 weeks, no doubt about it. I would start him, but
I would never start DJ Moore. I would never draft DJ Moore. Everybody says, "Oh, it's quarterback. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that." And I think he's full of talent, man. But he has not shown me shit. Never now. I mean, if he does, like, I think he's talented, but it ain't showing on the football field, man. Something's got to give.
Craft, what you say?
It's nice to have a difference in opinion of DJ Moore because Ian's right. I don't agree that DJ Moore's not talented, and like Ian said, he don't think he's not talented. But sometimes great receivers can overcome that. Look at DeAndre Hopkins with the Texans for years. I mean, like Baker.
Yeah.
I feel like with Baker, you had a pretty good. You had pretty good evidence that he didn't like support his receivers. He had Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham for years, and neither one of them were worth a crap. So I'm benching. So here's my question for you, Matt, with DJ Moore. I'm starting Alan Lazard over DJ Moore. Would you do that?
No.
Okay. Well, I am.
But I mean, honestly, it's tough. I mean, it's definitely a lot closer than what it was. But any love for these tight ends?
No.
Juwan Johnson, Taysom Hill.
I mean, Juwan. I picked up Juwan Johnson because I've been playing Cole Kmet, and I was in.
Yeah.
Everybody knows how many goose eggs he's laid, and Juwan, you know, he's been pretty. He's what, like 12 points a game or something? I think something like that. 11, 10, something. But he's. I think if you don't have one of the premieres, then yeah, you got to run with him. I think he's a good if you can pick him up. He might still be out there.
Yep, just toss him in, man. Toss him in. Houston, going to Chicago. What are we thinking about Justin Fields right now, Kraft? What do we do with this dude? I'm starting him in that Average Joe league.
I'm benching him. He's on the waiver, dude. 28 passing attempts in 2 games.
So bad, man. Yeah. So bad.
Dude. Joe Flacco has 102 passing attempts in 2 games. So I'm starting Flacco over Joe.
I was about to say, I'll start Flacco over Fields, man. And he's another one of those players where I think he's got the talent, but I don't know if it's Chicago or if he just ain't in the right headspace, but he's not quite there yet. It took Jalen Hurts and Tua, you know, it took them a few years to kind of get going too. So we'll have to see, man.
David Montgomery, obviously, tossing them in your lineups. Yeah. Probably about to run all over Houston. That's definitely going to be a good play this week. What about these guys catching the ball though? Mooney, Kmet, I wouldn't do nothing with these dudes.
Ian, go ahead, give your 2 cents. I would like to see if you are going to say the exact same thing I would.
Well, if you're gonna say shouldn't have drafted him, shouldn't have started him on both of those boys, then that's exactly what you're gonna say. But I mean, I was never on a hype train on Mooney. I'm just and it's mainly because the offense he's in. You know, if he was on the Packers, I'm starting him every week, man. But Justin Fields can't get it to him. It's obvious. I mean, the first week we gave him a break because it was a rain game, blah blah blah. So maybe last week is really their first week. So I say we give them another chance and not totally ship them off to the fucking penitentiary. Sorry about my words, but
Yeah.
it's a no for me.
Craft?
28 passing attempts through 2 games.
Yeah.
No,
Ooh,
absolutely not.
definitely tough. All right, let's move over. I'm not playing Damian Pierce or Rex Burkhead unless I just have to. If I have to, I mean, in that league where I'm in with y'all, I've been running Rex Burkhead in there. So
Yeah.
it's what it
That's
is.
sad, bro. That's so
See,
sad.
this is
Still 1-1 though.
yeah. I mean, if there's a week to start Damian Pierce, and I think this might be it against that Chicago defense, man. I mean, I wouldn't say he's going to get you 20 something, but you know, I think he's solid for 10.
Yeah, I'm with in on that. If there is a week to do it and you want to call your shot, it's this week. I mean, do you start Damian Pierce or do you start, let's say, like Chase Edmonds after his game he just had, or like Daryl Henderson splitting the work with Cam Akers? Like, who would you play?
I would do Daryl Henderson over Damian Pierce, but Damian Pierce over Chase Edmonds.
Yeah, I agree.
We've got a pretty good line right there for people.
Anything else tight end wise? I mean, I'm not playing OJ Howard, Brevin Jordan, unless he just got to maybe, but you know.
Yeah, Cole Kmet's super weird with me, but yeah. No, we ain't even on that game anymore, are we?
Well, I mean, we with them in the same game,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, the tight ends are
whatever. It's all a bunch of hibbity hoopla. All right, let's move on to Kansas City, Indianapolis. Patty Mahomes, you're obviously starting him. Matt Ryan, though, what about him? I don't know, man. I don't think. Could you play him in a super flex? Would you still do it?
Against the Chiefs, I guess you would have to in a super flex. I mean, one bad week. I mean, it was a very, very bad week, but I could think of worse. We were just talking about the Fields and stuff, so I'll give him one more try in a game script that they should be behind.
Jonathan Taylor, you're obviously starting him. Pittman, if he's back, you're starting him. Nyheim Hines, though, if no Pittman's there, you even thinking about it?
Well, Nyheim Hines, yeah, I would definitely think about it this week. I've always said, and if I think they're going to be down, I think Nyheim Hines should be the guy. But they need to give the ball to Jonathan Taylor like 30 times.
Yeah.
They need to stop screwing around. I got something to say to Frank Wright, man. Next time Pittman's out, your game plan should be give the ball to Jonathan Taylor. Don't throw it to Paris Campbell and Ashton Doolin and expect good things to happen.
You would think that would be obvious, but
what a dummy, dude! What a dummy.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what was up with that.
Him and Daniel Hackett, they're both dumb.
What about any love for the Colts tight ends?
No.
Yeah.
I tried Riley Cox in a DFS last week. He dropped a touchdown pass, but yeah, I don't like it. Travis Kelce is obvious.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire, obviously you starting him. Clyde has had a pretty good start. He's RB5 right now in PPR leagues.
Mm-hmm.
You feel the same way about their receiving core, though? I kind of don't want to play any of them, but if you have to, toss one in, they might have a good game.
Forced to, like you drafted Juju and stuff, like somebody's going to blow up and catch a touchdown for him. You have no idea who it is. they're all in the same kind of player, man. It's just like Scantlin, Juju, Cole. I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know what to do with them.
yeah. I'm with you though. Kelsey, obviously you're playing him. Tight end. Well, what is he doing this year? Let's see. Number one, just like we expected. So, that's about it for that game. Buffalo, Miami. What this? Tua had him a good ass game last week. I think he was the second quarterback last week. Just behind Lamar, who he was playing in the same game. 40 points, 6 touchdowns, threw 2 interceptions. But
Crazy,
sheesh,
crazy, bro, crazy.
are you starting him?
Hell yeah. After that, I mean, I ain't trying to jump on the bandwagon for 1 week, but like, goodness gracious, man, I got Joe Burrow and people who like if you drafted Burrow or Russell Wilson at this point, or even Tom Brady, like, would you throw Tua in? Would you give up on them for a week and
I
start Tua? You know,
I
you got the
try.
Dak Prescott owner too, who lost him.
Oh yeah, heck, I'd throw 2 in. Maybe over all them guys you just said. I'm just being honest.
Mm-hmm.
Think I know
Yeah,
I wasn't ever
that's what I'm
really
saying.
too
There's a
low
lot of
on
people
him.
struggling. No,
So
I wasn't low on them either. It's just there's a lot of people who draft some quarterbacks pretty early, and they're not very happy right now. I'm one of them. So, shoot, if I had two on my team, they got. I mean, they're playing the Bills. It's gonna
yeah.
be some. That's a really good defense, but there's gonna be some points to go around in that game.
Um
Hopefully,
what about these running backs right here? Chase Evans, Raheem Mostert. Would you play him? I mean, I'd rather have Mostert than Edmonds, but would you play him? Pretty much if you had to, maybe.
I would rather have Edmonds and Mostert. We disagree there, but against the Bills, no, I ain't. I ain't rolling with that, man. Like I said, there should be some points to go around in this game, but there might not be. You know, the Bills are freaking incredible. This game could. The Bills are looking so good they could just beat the snot out of the Dolphins.
Let me pull up my stats. So last year, my boy D Henry went off on the Bills. He scored, I think, 20 points. I mean, he lit them up, and couldn't do a dang thing this year. And I think that says something about their defense. They've held some of the best teams in check, man. And a blowout against Tennessee, man. I don't really want to play anybody versus the Bills, honestly, at this point in the season.
What
And you got
about
to play Waddle and Tyreek though.
got to?
You gotta start your unbenchable players, but I had to start Derrick Henry, but it's tough, man. It sucks.
Yeah,
What
Bills
about
are killing everybody right now.
what about Gesicki? Got a touchdown last week. You think they're gonna try to work him in a little bit? Tua and Gesicki had a little chemistry last year.
Yeah, no, still not with Gesicki. He had 4 targets last week, 4 receptions. That's pretty. I guess that's pretty decent for a tight end, but that was well. I guess that's gonna be a game script they gotta throw to. But I mean, well, sure, he's a tight end. Just
Yeah,
whatever you
just
want
toss
to
him
do.
on in.
I'd like to see him do another gritty dance.
That's pretty rough.
Man, yeah. Josh Allen, obviously. Quarterback one. Singletary, though, he looks good when he runs the ball.
Dude, I can't. I ain't starting Singletary. I'm benching. He does look good. Nothing against Singletary. He had 3 fantasy points last week, and they won 41-7. That's the kind of game script you want for your running back.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's Buffalo's biggest downfall right now. And that might be the thing that knocks them out of the playoffs is their running game, man. Josh Allen can't do it. He can't do it all, man. They got to figure out something.
Stephon Diggs Good grief. I mean, this dude is unreal. So Gabe Davis though, is he back this week? What's the word on him? I don't even know what the word is.
He's limited this, Wednesday. So just like we said about Connor and stuff, it's so early in the week, man. Just keep an eye on it, but it's a good sign that he's practicing a little bit. He's
Gabe,
starting. If he plays, you're starting him.
if Gabe Davis is out, are you looking to start McKenzie?
No. He had the opportunity last week, but I'll let Ian. What do you got? What do you think, Ian?
If Gabe Davis is out, if you got somebody like Jerry Judy who might be out or something like that, and I think he'd be a good like flex in, but I'd put him in like a wide receiver 4 actually, something like that.
Yeah.
Dawson Knox. I mean, play him if you want to. Type deal.
I think Dawson Knox. Yeah, because when it comes to tight ends, it's a pretty shallow pool. So Dawson Knox is one of the ones I think you can start pretty regularly.
Yeah.
Detroit headed to Minnesota. Kirk Cousins just good grief. I started him last week. This dude, it was like he was intentionally trying to lose me the week. Seriously, I was like, this dude is ridiculous. But obviously, you started him. Heck, well, are you obviously starting it? I am. It's either him or Tom Brady. Yeah, shoot, I'm in a 12. No, I'm in a 10-man league, and it's coming down between Tom Brady and Kirk Cousins. I'm gonna roll with Kirk again.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think because if everybody's screaming bounce back week for Jefferson, so I mean, somebody's got to throw him 3 touchdowns.
Dalvin Cook, he's obviously starting.
Yeah. Dalvin Cook's in your lineup. I think he's another one that you should try to go trade for right now because a bad first couple weeks. I think he's going to bounce back big time. And one thing about Kirk Cousins that I was going to say, if it's a primetime game, don't play Kirk Cousins because he can't play in primetime games.
This is true. This has been proven.
What are we doing with Thielen?
Ooh,
I'm sending him to the morgue, man. He done pissed me off. I don't know, man. He's just touchdown dependent. That's all I say about Thielen. If he's either gonna get a touchdown or 2, or he's gonna get 0 points.
Yeah, I'm just benching him. I'm probably going to bench him this week. I don't think I'd drop him yet, but or if you could trade him. I mean, last week he was the leading receiver for Minnesota in garbage time. But if you got like a newbie out there who didn't watch the game and they just look at stats and that's all they look at, like, sure, you try to get rid of them. Try to trade them.
Jared Goff, you start him in Superflex leagues. DeAndre Swift probably gonna be limited again this week, but you're still starting him no matter what.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Rolling him out there, he's incredibly talented, man. I love me some DeAndre Swift.
I think he's the RB1 right now, actually.
DeAndre Swift?
Yeah,
Nick Chubb's RB.
He's
RB1. Swift is RB2. 2 Georgia boys leading the top.
That's what I was saying, man. The Bulldogs.
The Bulldogs up top right now.
Jamal Williams. If you just need to plug somebody in, he might get you a touchdown, maybe 2. But Amon-Ra St. Brown, good grief. What are we thinking about this guy right here?
I think he's a god. I wish, dude. I wanted shares of Amon-Ra, man, but he never really fell to me. And where he was going, I really needed a running back, and I just kind of wish I would have just went ahead and got him, man. But I think if you got him, you got to start him, dude. And if nothing else, I mean, you got huge trade. If you need a running back right now, you can get a pretty good running back for Amon-Ra. I guarantee it.
Sure.
Yeah, I would
trade him high.
I wouldn't trade him at all. I feel
Oh
like.
yeah, I wouldn't trade. I wouldn't trade him either. I was just saying you could trade him high. Like if it
Um,
was the time to trade him, I would trade him now. But thing I got to say about Amon-Ra, dude, look at this guy like a superstar in the NFL, man. It don't matter what his draft capital was. He has done it since like week 11 of last year. He's a wide receiver 3 right now. He
Craft.
has the second most targets in the league, dude.
Is
He's
there?
bad.
Does he finish in the top 12 this year?
I think he does.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he'll be getting drafted in the first round. If next year, if he keeps this up, dude, he's going to be one of the elites very soon.
Yeah,
Hawkinson, toss him in if you need to.
yeah. He's a disappointment, but they all are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Baltimore playing New England. Lamar, man, quarterback won last week. The dude just went off in a high scoring game with Tua. Dobbins, we've been talking about this all year. If he's back, I still wouldn't play him week 1. But I mean,
Uh,
it just is what it is with Dobbins.
Yeah, he's gonna be great once he comes back after a couple of weeks, but I wouldn't do it the first week.
But they definitely need a running back. So when he does come back, you know, definitely be looking to play him. Rashad Bateman, Duvernay. What you think about this wide receiver core right here? Rashad Bateman had that quick slant, took it to the house, 75 yards, something. Duvernay had a special teams touchdown, but I think he got knocked out, didn't he?
Yeah, dude. No, he had a special teams touchdown. He scored.
That's what I'm saying. He had that kickoff, 103 yards.
Yeah, yeah. He's pretty special, man. He's a good athlete.
Yeah, Rashad Bateman.
I'm
Yeah,
not
obviously.
starting him though.
You're not starting Duvernay still?
Nah, I ain't starting Duvernay. Patriots still got good defense.
True. Andrews, you obviously starting him. New England, we got Mac Jones. Are you playing him in your super flex leagues? Probably so, but I think Damian Harris, what's his status?
I hadn't seen much on Damian Harris yet. I know it wasn't as serious as it could have been. I think he has a chance to play this weekend. It's something you know just follow the news and see if he's in. If he's not, then I guess Ramondre is a must start. And if Damian Harris is in, I'd be playing him. But them running
Yeah.
backs are pretty tough for that team right now.
Jacoby
so
Myers.
so has
You out in? Can't hear you.
Jacoby Myers, are you
oh
playing
sorry
him?
no, I stopped talking. Yeah, man, I think I'd play Jacoby if you got him. If you got him, then that means you probably got somebody who's hurt and you need to fill in. So if you got him, you probably want to play him.
It's a good
Uh,
matchup, man. Baltimore's pass defense is awful.
Yep.
yeah. Cincinnati playing the Jets. Joe Burrow been struggling a little
One more
bit.
thing, Matt. One
Oh,
more
go
thing,
for it.
Matt. About New England, drop Devontae Parker if you drafted him.
He shouldn't even be a nobody. He shouldn't even have drafted him, peeps.
Yeah,
That should have been a no-go.
go ahead, go ahead.
If we drafted, sorry, one more thing. If we drafted Ramondre, are we upset right now? What are we doing with him?
Yeah, obviously start Ramondre, especially if Damian Harris is out. Not obviously starting him, but if Damian Harris is out, then you obviously I'd throw him in.
Yeah, I agree.
It'd probably be Pierre Strong though, or something crazy.
Something weird, yeah. Cincinnati, New York. Joe Burrow been struggling a little bit, but you obviously starting him. Joe Mixon, you obviously playing. Jamar T. Just a lot of players you obviously playing. Hurst, maybe you playing him if you need a tight end. It's just as good as pick as any. Boyd, any love for him?
Yeah, I'm not going with Boyd this week. I think the most you're going to get out of Boyd is like, will he be average or will he not do anything? And I don't want to start players like that, really.
Either.
Yeah. For the Jets
Especially with
though,
this offense struggling, dude. Especially with
yeah,
this offense struggling.
the Jets they've been slinging the rock like crazy.
They have.
Um, Michael Carter, Brees Hall. How do we feel about that backfield now?
What you thinking, Ian?
Um, I'm thinking if you got either one of those guys, I think you play them. Um, they they're both pretty good. I think Brees Hall is gonna end up being the man, but I think both of them have been producing pretty well, and it's just up in the air who's gonna be the man that week.
Yeah, I mean, I do my little prize picks every week, and they have like player props on there. And every time I look at Brees Hall on there, they're putting this is Vegas. These are people who know a lot, and they're putting his rushing stats at around like, do you think he's going to go over under 30? So like, and he's not even doing it. So if Brees Hall ain't, I wouldn't be playing Brees Hall. I think I would rather have Michael Carter right now, not for the whole season, but for right now, I think I would be starting Michael Carter and benching Brees Hall. I would look more like Brees Hall, like I'm looking at like Edmonds and um like Rashad Penny, Travis Etienne, something like that.
Um,
Right now,
I think I'd roll with Brees Hall, but what do we think about this wide receiver core? Garrett Wilson, Elijah Moore. Garrett Wilson had a big week last week. What are we doing with these
yeah,
guys?
I mean, I think Garrett Wilson's a must start right now. Flacco's balling. He's got no pressure. He's out there having fun, man. And then when quarterbacks, just like Fitzpatrick did, when towards the end of his career, he was just out there having fun. He knew he wasn't the man, but and that shows on the field. So I think you start Wilson for sure.
yeah. I'm with Ian starting Wilson. Like you don't want to miss out on these breakout rookies. Like I mean, if they're showing promise already,
Yeah.
then you don't want to just keep waiting. And the main thing is like the targets. It's not the receptions. But Garrett Wilson was in double digit targets, about 11 targets last week. And that's what you want to see. So definitely start Wilson. I give Elijah Moore a week. I don't think I'd play him unless I had to.
Agree.
Um, Las Vegas headed to Tennessee. Um, let's see who
Like the
we got
battle of
here.
the bad man. 2-0-2 teams.
Mm.
Yeah.
At least somebody's gonna come out with a win.
Um, Josh Jacobs, we starting him.
I'm thinking.
I think so, dude. I mean, because if you got Jacobs, you probably got him, middle of the, third, fourth, fifth round, and he hasn't really underperformed. I mean, he's given you like 8 points, both weeks. So you really can't be mad at that. You get double digit points, that's good. If you get over 20, that's great. So I think if you stay around, 10 points, I mean, I think that's a solid game, unless you have, James Robinson on your bench, then yeah, you don't want to start him. But other than that, I think he's a good start.
Yeah, I agree. Like one thing we wanted to talk about, like that we went through in the past, was pay attention to the Raiders' backfield, see how their running backs are getting used, and Zamir White's not a thing, so he hasn't done anything yet. So Jacobs is a every week play for me. Raiders just need to commit a little bit more to the run. I mean, they're 0-2. They need to figure it out.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
Devontae Adams gonna get a bunch of targets. Look for him to bounce back. Renfro, I know he was in concussion protocol. Are you playing him?
Nah, man. Like it just depends on how your team is. As a flex spot, like at the start of the season, I would say Renfro was probably in most people's like wide receiver 2, maybe 3 range. But I mean, I think he's just dropping down to like that desperation flex play. So it depends on who you got. I would go with Renfro over some of them. Would you go with Renfro over Curtis Samuel?
Nah, I'm going with Curtis Samuel over Renfro this week.
Yeah, especially because I mean Tennessee, they got Kenneth Byard back there, and another. I know they got a couple good people in the secondary, man. So I probably wouldn't. But you got to think. I mean, Devontae might get double covered, and then they're going to leave Renfro open in the slot. But it's
Stephon Diggs didn't have a problem running right through him last week.
yeah.
Nah.
Well, you're talking about somebody who sold their soul to the devil too. So
Uh, Darren Waller. Uh, Obviously you're playing him. Tennessee though, what are we thinking about Tennessee? I've been kind of down on them all off season. I think we looking at the end of the end of the end for this little run they had. Derrick Henry's gonna look to bounce back, so you're obviously starting him. Tannehill, I don't want no part of Tannehill, even in the
bro,
super flex. You
that
starting Tannehill or Marcus Mariota?
it depends on if Tannehill even starts, man. They might play Malik Willis, dude. I mean,
Yeah,
I mean that team. Coming into this year, they were the they won that division and all the hype was on them, dude. But Taylor Lewan went down, and I think that was one of the biggest things that messed them up during Buffalo, because you got to think on that first drive, they drove down the field. Derrick Henry punched it in for 6 in the very first thing, and then Taylor Lewan goes out, and there's nothing. So maybe he was a bigger influence on that offensive line than everybody realized. But hopefully he comes back and he's healthy. And I think once he gets back, they'll be all right. But it's kind of tough sledding there right now.
Yeah, a piece of advice I think, even though it's early on in the year, man, I wouldn't overreact. I'm with you, Matt, about the Titans getting very close to rebuilding, but I'm just not overreacting to anybody a game after they played the Bills at this point, dude. The Bills
Yeah.
they're killing everybody, man.
yeah.
Yeah.
What about receiving wise? Any love for these guys? Burks, I know he got a couple. Let's see, 6 targets last week. Robert Woods,
He should be rostered.
yeah. I wouldn't be playing any of these guys for now though. But Burks, throw him on your squad. You never know.
Yeah. Burke should
Yep.
be rostered. You're starting Derrick Henry, and I think that's the end of the line right there for the Titans, ain't it?
That's,
Yep.
unless you just need Hooper, but other than that,
He only played
Philly.
50% of snaps, bro. And going back, we talked about the Jets earlier. I didn't mention it. I just thought about it after we talked about Hooper. Tyler Conklin played 100% of snaps last week and had about 7 targets. So there's another little tight end
Yeah, I think he's a good.
nugget.
You could probably
Tight
get
end
him on
nugget.
waivers still.
Yeah. So,
Philly headed to Washington. Who's 1-1? Carson Wentz has been going off.
All the
I think I seen he was the quarterback 4 right now. But Antonio Gibson, you starting him. McLaurin, you starting him. What you doing about Samuel and Dotson? Well, what about McLaurin, man? Are you really starting him like that?
I'm starting McLaurin. He's done fine. I mean, the targets hadn't been there, but McLaurin is who he always is, boomer
Yeah.
bust type guy.
What about
Better than DK Metcalf.
what about Samuel and Dotson? You got them in your lineups this week?
And I think you got the same. You probably say the same. I will, but I want to hear your opinion first.
Yeah, man. I think yeah, dude. How can you not, dude? I want pieces of this offense right now. They look beautiful. They're going out there and scoring points and having fun. And Antonio Gibson, I was down him, but he got paid and he's paying and everything looks good, dude. And yeah, I think you start both of them.
Yeah, Jahan Dotson's been more touchdown dependent. I like Samuel over Dotson to start. Dotson has 3 touchdowns, but he hadn't eclipsed 100 yards yet. So he's not getting the yards, and he only has 10 targets on the whole year. So, like, he's more of a risk than Samuel. Samuel can put up. He's a lot higher floor play than Dotson.
I guess Logan Thomas if you need him. Philly though, Hurts, he went off. Miles Sanders though, what do you think? It looks good when he runs it.
Yeah. He got 20 carries last week for a team with the best offensive line in football, bro.
Yep.
You're playing Miles Sanders.
Yeah.
He probably will score a touchdown though.
Yeah, I mean Sanders, I've had him, before, and he's letting me down. But if there's a year to get him, I think it's this year. I don't care what team you're on. If your offensive line is ranked number 1, you kind of want that running back.
AJ Brown.
I'm gonna ask y'all a crazy question.
Oh, go for it.
Crazy question. Would you, at this point, put away draft capital? Would you trade not Miles Sanders for Najee?
No, not at this point.
Miles Sanders for ETN.
I personally wouldn't, but that one makes sense.
It depends on who's trading who. If I'm getting Miles Sanders for ETN, then all day.
Yeah, I would rather have Sanders.
Me too.
AJ Brown, you're playing him. Devontae Smith, I've been pretty down on him, but last week,
good.
What do you have? 7 targets, 7 receptions for 80 yards, 15
Looking
fantasy points. So, yeah, solid. Play him if you need to. Goddard, you obviously playing him. Had a pretty good week as a tight end.
Yeah. Most receiving yards for the Philly last week at the tight end position. So
5 receptions for 82 yards. So you're definitely playing him. Real quick, Jacksonville Chargers. Trevor Lawrence, shoot, I might go pick him up, start him in our average Joes. I might just have to, man.
Dude, Jacksonville looks like the best team in the league right now, man. I don't know what's going on, but I'm riding the Jacksonville hype train, dude.
James Robinson going off, pretty much put Travis Etienne into a true backup role.
Pretty much. 20 carries last week, dude. Etienne had 9.
The only one from the receiver core I wanted is Christian Kirk. I've been all on Christian Kirk. He's looking good right now.
That was one of the receivers you said, a sneaky receiver that could finish in the top 12. And as of right now, he is.
Number 7 in PPR leagues.
Yep, number 7.
So, Ingram, I know he's the tight end 12 right now. He got 8 targets last week. So 7 receptions, 8 targets. So maybe if you need a tight end, maybe think about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Ian, as far as ETN goes, how are you feeling about his outcome? Like, you even playing him this week? Like, would you go ETN against the Chargers or like Rashad Penny against the Falcons?
ETN or Penny. I mean, like you said, James Robinson is kind of butchering ETN right now, and I think eventually, like if you have him in a dynasty team, then you want to hold on to him, and I think he's gonna do good. But it is week 2, and we can't jump to conclusions. But I think I would start ETN over Penny just because the Jags are 2-0 and Seattle is not.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm trying to avoid starting ETN if I can, but I know a lot of people can't. There's a lot worse running backs. Like if you waited for a while to get one, but ETN is just. I think at this point you just chalk him down as he's not what you thought he was going to be when you drafted him.
Nah, I say he's a buy low. This is pretty much his rookie season right here.
Yeah.
I'll definitely try to snag him on the low if I could.
It had to be pretty low.
Eckler, you're starting him. Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, Everett. Heck, I
He's back at
mean,
practice.
yeah,
Everett was
Keenan.
one of those tight ends, man, that kind of came out of nowhere week one, and everybody was like, "Oh yeah, Gerald
Yep.
Everett's actually good."
I'd pretty much start anybody in this offense, even Palmer if I had to.
Agreed.
Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't start Palmer, but I would, with Keenan Allen out for sure. But
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Keenan Allen back, probably not.
All right, so let's move on to the Rams. Arizona, Kyler Murray started off rough, but then had a better second half. They started to put up points. Connor, if he's healthy, you're playing him, I assume.
Yep, you're playing him with your eyes closed, man, because he is not somebody that I got him on in 2 of my leagues, and man, I don't like watching this dude run, or anything, but opportunity will be there. The touchdown, he's very touchdown dependent, but yeah, you're playing him if he's healthy.
Marquise Brown, yeah, obviously starting him. In my opinion, you obviously starting Hollywood still.
Yeah, I'm gonna start Hollywood. He's still like the main guy. Him and Zach Ertz.
What about old Dortch, Greg Dortch? I mean, four receptions, 55 yards, a touchdown, 2 solid weeks in a row.
Yeah, like I said last week, man. If I can see it 2 weeks in a row like that, and the target share is there and everything, like there's short opportunity before Hopkins comes back. But this is a pass-heavy offense with a good quarterback who can throw the ball. They have a terrible defense, which is great for fantasy. So yeah, I would roll out old Dortch.
Zach Ertz if you need him. Stafford, you're rolling him out. You're rolling him out in a 12-man league, 1 quarterback leagues.
Man, I'd play anybody against Arizona.
Yeah, I'm with you. Henderson, Cam Akers, what do we make of this backfield right now?
Cam Akers got 15 touches last week, and Henderson only had 10. Henderson averaged 4.7 yards per carry, and Akers still only averaged like 2.9.
Yeah.
So it's obvious who's better at this point. But
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what we think. It matters what Sean McVay thinks. So I would roll out Henderson, and I still wouldn't start Akers yet.
Yeah, I agree with you. Cooper Kupp, obvious. Robinson, obvious to me.
Yeah,
Anybody else?
Robinson's tough at this point. I would start him, but he scored a touchdown last week and really scored 2 touchdowns. Did you watch that game
Yep.
at all? Where they just were like, "Oh, never
Oh, the play
mind. We got to
there.
do the whole play for no reason." After he just scored, then it went to Cooper Kupp, who I was
Yeah.
playing against.
Hey,
I was frustrated as hell.
man, I was happy as hell when that happened, man.
I had Robinson and I was playing against Kupp, so it was like a 14 or a 12-point swing, just like out of nowhere, dude.
Higbee if you need him, but you know how it is.
I think Higbee's a good start. I think Higbee should be definitely being played at this point if you don't have one of the big tight end names. Like Higbee is getting enough targets, he's running enough routes where I think you're fine playing him every week. I'd like to have him if it was me.
Atlanta going to play Seattle, back on the West Coast again. Mariota, Geno Smith. Maybe you're playing them in a super flex league. I would try to work in Mariota if I had guys like Tannehill. I'm just being honest. But Geno, you probably don't truly want to play him neither. But Cordell, we starting him no matter what.
I will be starting Cordero. It's a good matchup this week. So it should be a close game. I actually think Falcons might pull this one out or blow it in the fourth quarter. One of the two.
Yeah, probably the latter. Drake London. I say put him in if you can. I mean, if you're just so stacked at wide receiver and you can afford to put him on the bench. Other than that,
he's a stud, man.
That's what I'm saying. Nice little flex play. I'm with you. Drake London looks like he's going to be The real deal.
He's wide receiver 14 right now.
Yeah.
That's a sexy wide receiver too. So like 19 targets, 160 yards, 37 fantasy points. That's
Yeah.
stout, and this is in full PPR.
Yep.
So yeah, as a rookie for sure. I'm starting him.
Kyle Pitts, you're starting him, but you're worried. That's how I feel.
I'd be worried to death if I drafted him, which I have him nowhere, which wasn't like me saying I just don't want Kyle Pitts. It's just I just didn't end up with him.
Yeah.
And for 2 weeks, man, it is not what you wanted.
To
10
me,
targets for 2 games for Kyle Pitts.
yeah. Well,
Dude,
he was
Tyler
an
Higbee
obvious
has 20
fade.
targets.
Yeah,
Tyler Higbee has 20.
Kyle Pitts was an obvious fade coming into the year for me. Uh, Seattle, though, I think there's no doubt you're starting Rashard Penny versus the Falcons, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think you have to, but what in the world is Seattle doing? They've been such a run heavy team throughout, forever, and Rashad Penny ain't getting much work. If you start him this week, this would be the week to start him. And if I think my rule with Penny this week, if he gets under like 10 carries this week, I'm done. I'm done playing him. But start him this week.
Um, yep, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Start him this
Lockett.
week. If he scores like 30, then trade him right away.
Well, yeah, I would definitely. I second that one. Lockett. 19 fantasy points last week. 11 targets, 9 receptions. Metcalf, he had let's see, what was it? 6 targets, 4 receptions. What do we do with this wide receiving core right here?
You're probably benching Metcalf. The targets are there. The receptions are in a full PPR, so he's getting close to 10 points a week. You could probably do worse. You're just going to have to look at him totally different. I think you can play him as a flex spot, but he is not the DK Metcalf anymore. Just got to look at him like, man, this is a desperation flex right here. Not a wide receiver too.
Green Bay, Tampa Bay, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers.
Did we mention Mike Evans in the news section? He is out. They appealed his suspension. He's not going to be in.
Mike Evans is out. Tom Brady, you're playing him in a super flex. I'm benching him in a regular one quarterback league. Leonard Fournette, you're playing him. Julio Jones.
Green Bay's rush defense was awful.
Yeah. What?
I guess the question I got to ask you about this Buccaneers receivers is which one do you want? Which one do you want to play? Because I feel like they're probably going to be a decent start this week.
I might would say Russell Gage, maybe.
I agree with that. I think Russell Gage is probably the play.
It's tough, though. I would rather look elsewhere, but,
Scotty Miller.
I don't know, man. All those guys like Perriman, I don't know, man. Maybe play Russell Gage, but any love for these tight ends for Tampa Bay?
No, hell no. They haven't done anything all year. They are the worst tight ends of all the tight ends. So
Aaron Rodgers, not much to say about him, but Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon, we've been keeping an eye on this backfield. Aaron Jones went off last week, 15 attempts, had 3 receptions. Right now, it's currently the running back 4 in PPR leagues. Dillon's running back 15. Little less. He had 18 attempts for 61 yards, 3 targets. Still got a lot of work. Not a very productive fantasy day, but what do we think about these guys?
This is a very, very tough defense to run against, but if you have them, I would say you're going to probably play them because Green Bay is going to really still rely on them. That's really what they got right now. They haven't figured out how to get these rookies involved, and, Lazard's easing his way back in. So I think you can play them, but it's not going to be a blow-up week for either one of them. Just hope for some touchdowns, really. Man, going back to Aaron Rodgers, you said there wasn't much to talk about. I think there is. I don't think I would play him at all against Tampa Bay if I could avoid it.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what to say. We start getting done.
I'd be going with like Kirk Cousins or Stafford or Tua,
Yeah.
something like that if I had them. But I mean, if Aaron Rodgers is your only quarterback, then you're just gonna have to close your eyes and watch and put him in there.
Playing Lazard.
Yeah, I think I am. He came back last week. He looked okay. He only had 3 targets, 2 receptions. He had a touchdown. Lazard is going to be a touchdown. He's going to score a lot this year. He was an inch away from scoring 2 last week.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said when we were talking about Lazard, like before the episode, baby, I said I'm starting Lazard over DJ Moore this week because DJ Moore's playing New Orleans. But
Yeah.
like Lazard's just a flex, man. He ain't gonna do nothing crazy.
Tunyon if you need him, man. That's what we'll say about all these tight ends. Sunday Night Football, San Fran, Jimmy G goes to Denver, Russell Wilson, and I got something I want to say about Russell Wilson. I think it's a possibility. We're watching him right now. He's going against a good defense this week. We might be seeing the decline of Russell Wilson. He looks a little chunky. He's definitely not as mobile as he was. 2 bad weeks in a row. I know it's real early, but this could be the decline is what I'm wondering.
Yeah, I still like it. This week. If he can't do it against Houston and can't do it against Seattle, I would probably bench him this week. If you have other options, same thing with Aaron Rodgers, like I just said about like the same kind of play. But I don't think he's done yet, man. He got so many weapons. There's no way with that offense that they got, they're not going to figure it out. I think Nathaniel Hackett, the coach, and they got to ease into it. I think by the second half of the year, by like week 8, is when you're going to start seeing some good games out of the Broncos.
Javonte Williams, Melvin Gordon, one of those backfields you're keeping an eye on.
You're benching Gordon this week.
Benching Gordon, and yep, Javonte. I mean, he's obviously a must start. He looks so good. He had a lesser points last week, but more attempts rushing the ball, less targets, but still got 4. So yeah, but Sutton, Judy was out today, right? Didn't we say something about that? If we didn't,
yeah, he was. Yeah, we did. We said he didn't. He wasn't practicing today.
So Sutton's obviously starting. Alberto, if you need to, maybe.
Yeah, if Sutton's out, he's a better play. If Sutton is in, then he's on the same level as like the Conklins, the Evan Ingrams. Kind of Njoku, kind of level like that at tight ends.
Jimmy G back starting. Probably playing him in super flex leagues, but Jeff Wilson, are we playing him?
I'm starting him this week in one of my leagues. Actually, I got a pretty good running back room, but I'm starting him over James Conner this week.
Yeah.
Again, James Conner plays the Rams, but actually, so with the 49ers this week, they are playing the best rush defense.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't think Jeff Wilson's the best play, but it's the 49ers running backs, man. Whoever's in there usually does a good job.
Debo, you're starting him. Ayuk, if you need to, maybe, but
Denver's got a good defense overall. So
yeah.
As much as we've been talking about how bad Denver has looked, their defense has still been pretty stout.
George Kittle, obvious. Look for him to, he gets a boost with Jimmy G being back. So, yeah, let's just move on to the last one. Monday Night Football. We got Dallas, New York. I don't even care about that game, man. Obviously, it's just like, I'm not talking fantasy-wise. I care about it, but Dallas and New York, come on, man. Cooper Rush, you're not playing him. If you Daniel Jones, maybe in a super flex. Zeke, Pollard, what are we thinking?
People would look at the Giants and say, oh, great matchup. The Giants defense is good.
Yeah.
That is one thing I can say about the Giants. Their offense sucks. Their defense is very good. But I guess you got to start Zeke, right? I mean, goodness gracious.
Yeah. It's tough,
Glad I
man.
didn't draft him, man. I'm just glad I didn't draft him. But yeah. And glad I traded him in Dynasty as soon as I did draft him.
Are we
I'm looking
starting
for
CD
Zeke on the
Lamb?
rankings right now, bro, and he's not. I can't even find him to see where he is right
48th and running in PPR leagues.
now. 8th. God,
5.9 points a game right now. So, but let me ask you this: CD Lamb, are we starting him?
yeah, I'll start CD. He's still the number one in that offense, man. It's kind of like when you go with CD, it's like he's still the number one in the offense. Cooper Rush looks halfway decent. I mean, it'd be like saying, are you starting, I don't know, Garrett Wilson or something like that. Still, like, you got the number one in the offense. He's a great receiver. He plays all over in the slot and everything. Still getting targets. So, yeah, definitely starting CD.
That's about it on that. I mean, what about Noah Brown? Deep leagues, if you just have to.
Deep leagues if you have to. And Dalton Schultz got diagnosed with PCL sprain. He's day to day, which is good news for Dalton Schultz. Did I say Dawson Knox or Dalton Schultz
Nah,
first
Schultz,
time?
you're right.
Okay, yeah. So Schultz might miss this week, but it's looking good because they say he has a chance to play this week. I don't see it, but he avoided like the ACL, MCL 4 week type thing. So maybe out for a week or two.
Saquon, look for him to bounce back. This wide receiver core for New York, the only one playable is Sterling Shepard, maybe.
Yeah, I agree. I don't get how Tony isn't getting more play, but with Wandale being out and everything, they're starting Richie James was their leading receiver last week. So
Yeah, tough, man.
none of these dudes. Dallas's defense is stout. If I'm feeling confident about anybody in this game, it's probably Saquon and the defenses. If I
Yeah.
can get like the Cowboys defense or something like that, that'd be pretty nice.
Well, shoot, man. That about wraps up week 3. What we think about week 3. But real quick, let's just start from the top. Who scores the most in these games? Pittsburgh and Cleveland.
Pittsburgh and Cleveland. I'm going with Chubb again.
Same. New Orleans, Carolina.
Whew. McCaffrey.
Mm. Man, I might roll with. Man, that's tough. I might just say McCaffrey too. Houston and Chicago.
Um, Chicago. I go through these players, man. I guess David Montgomery. I think he looked awesome last week.
Yep, I agree. Kansas City, Colts.
Whew. I ain't gonna say Jonathan Taylor this time. I don't think I'm gonna say Kelsey.
I'm gonna say Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Buffalo and Miami.
Buffalo and Miami. Diggs
Same.
again.
Detroit, Minnesota.
Ooh. Jefferson. I think he's gonna bounce back big time. Detroit.
Yep, same.
Dalvin Cook's gonna have a bounce back week this week too. Detroit is last in rush defense this year, so be confident in Dalvin Cook this week.
Look for a big game for Minnesota. Baltimore at New England. It's just gonna be Lamar, man. That's what it is.
I mean, Bateman's had some good weeks too.
True, true.
I will say, outside of Lamar, I would say Mark Andrews in this one.
Cincinnati, New York, Jets.
Do the Bengals bounce back this week?
Man, I'm gonna say they have to, man. Got to. At least a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Mixon.
Yep, same. Las Vegas, Tennessee. I'm gonna say Devontae.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Devontae with what Diggs just did to him last week.
Philly and Washington. I'm gonna say AJ Brown.
I'm gonna go with Miles Sanders in this one.
Jacksonville, LA, Chargers.
Man, went with Mike Williams last week and it paid off, so I'm going with Mike Williams again this week.
Yep, I'm gonna agree. Mike Williams looks so good. Rams, Arizona, Cooper Cup.
You just say Cooper Cup every time
Yep.
you say the Rams.
ATL, Atlanta, Seattle.
Yeah, this one's kind of tough, but I think I'm gonna go with Drake London on this one.
I think I'm gonna go Rashard Penny.
Okay.
Green Bay, Tampa Bay.
This is gonna be a defensive game, I feel like, but we'll go with Leonard Fournette on this one.
Yep, same. San Fran and Denver.
Denver, go with my boy, I guess, Debo.
Yep, same. Dallas and New York. I'm gonna say Saquon. Monday Night Football.
I'm gonna say Cowboys defense.
Yeah, I hear you, man.
I'll go with Saquon. I'll go with Saquon too.
Well, shoot, man, that about wraps it up. That's our week 3 start sits. Went through every game for your ass. Craft, what you got to say to the people?
And we had some deep analysis, but we've been gone for a while. I know y'all missed our beautiful voices, but been sick, ain't been feeling good. Starting to feel better now. Just
we're gonna be bringing it out.
These episodes again.
Hey, it is what it is. The content's gonna be flowing. Thanks for listening to the podcast. Add the podcast. Add me on Twitter at Crew Matt Hamm. But that about wraps it up, man. We out.
Peace.